Hello SRMAPs, I'm your host Campus Explorer. Today we are going to be doing a second episode of SRMAP's new podcast. It's titled Say Whaat. Joining us today is Sanjana. She is a third year student pursuing BTech CSE here at SRMAP. She recently got famous, or she gathered a lot of attention towards her because of her unbelievable stipend of 1 lakh per month for her internship in PayPal. I mean, I totally get it, what it's like to get 1 lakh per month for a job, but for an internship is something I never heard of it before. So today we're going to be discussing a lot about her journey, like what are the how she built her resume, or what are the skills that she what are the skills that she developed, and we're also going to be discussing about the most controversial one, like how or that CGPA even had an impact toward her journey. So welcome, Sanjana.
Yeah, hi.
It's really good to have you here today. I mean, it's going to really help a lot of students, including myself. I really want to jump directly to the internship part. I'm tempted to do that, but I don't want to miss any key moments of your whole journey. So let's start off with your background.
Okay.
So where are you from basically?
I'm from Vijayawada, but I'm settled in Bangalore only. So I had pursued my intermediate in Vijayawada up till then, and I got I got a seat here in SRM, and I thought, why not? So I came here with that only. I have nothing else to say. So when I completed my intermediate, I had no other choice to choose because CSE was my go-to because I was very much interested in computers and stuff. So in my first year, nothing was interesting to me, and I was not that productive also. And as the days move on, I got to know what tech was and how to and what the term resume was called, and I then got into tech like that.
Okay, so you got into tech like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I see how it all started. So you got into, you also mentioned that you were not focused on, like you didn't have that much enthusiasm in computer science.
It's not like that. In the first year, nobody is motivated to learn tech stacks because you are motivated only when someone else is doing some stuff. So in my first year, no one was productive who were with me, but I started seeing some videos where people got placed, where they were the highest packages in their colleges. Like that I was motivated, but I don't know where to start. So I started connecting with the seniors and connecting with my family members, and like that I got to know what resume was and how to start building a resume, and what internships was, and how CSC goes, and is CGPA important. I know many of you guys have a very big doubt that is CGPA important, but let me tell you, it is not. But it acts as a criteria for shortlisting process in some companies, but it is not that important. All you need to focus is your resume and your tech stack. If you're confident enough to build an application, you're good to go. And one more important pillar to get you chosen is your data structures. I know you guys hear it from your teachers, but data structures and algorithm is one such criteria which plays the most important role. Every role has two main interviews. One is assessment and one is technical interview. I think you guys know it. So these two are common for every role, be it data analyst, be it any software engineering role, or be it any business analyst also. They have these rounds. In that, it is an evaluation metric which is used to know the candidate's performance, the time, the speed, and the accuracy which they do it, and as well as the CGPA along with that, it acts it out to evaluate it.
Yeah. So, but how true is that? Like I heard CGPA does act as a filtering out process, right?
Yeah.
So
in some companies, as I said, it only matters in some companies. If you take TCS, it's an open hiring, it's a day one company. They don't even ask for your CGPA. I think it's a limit around 6. All they look at is your resume. And in a company like PayPal, I think we were shortlisted on our skill only, because the people who were shortlisted along me were very talented in our, they were my peers and I know them all. One was an app developer, one was a web developer, and one was a UI UX developer. So I think Their CGPA was around 9 and around 8.5 and that's it. And I don't think we were shortlisted on CGPA, but we were shortlisted on our resume first. And then we got our assessment link which had around 6 MCQs which were on aptitude and 1 DSA question which was lead code medium I think. There we got 30 minutes to do the entire assessment and we got shortlisted based on that assessment. I completed the assessment in 5 minutes. Don't ask me how because I was that motivated in that time. After my assessment I got an interview call after like 1.5 months maybe, and then we got rescheduled and I don't know why. At December 4th the first technical interview happened and then after 15 days we got our main round, HR and managerial, whatever you call it. After that, after a week or so I got to know that I was selected.
Got selected. That's really interesting to know that. The journey that you have told right now, it really looks like, but I want to know, like you said that you're doing your first year, you said your productivity was being affected. I suddenly realized that your first year was spent in COVID pandemic, right? Was there any?
It was partly. The first semester was in COVID and the second semester was hybrid. So we were off and on campus. And I told you that I sometimes go to Bangalore, right? Yeah. So I mostly spent my vacations in Bangalore. So when I was in Bangalore, at that time I did not, it was a happening city, so I mostly ignored my online classes. And after that I started focusing. And my first year CGPA did not even affect this much. It's just a myth that you have to study the whole year. You can focus, the 1 month and you can just.
I think that's a really important note the students who are watching this need to take.
Yeah. So what I do is I just listen to the classes which are important and I attend my quizzes, everything. I need to bunk classes, but it's not that much. I use it productively. I think I got my first year CGPA, SGPA as 9.8.
First year CGPA?
SGPA. First sem.
First sem, okay.
And the second sem was 9.3.
I think then you definitely don't deserve the rights to say that.
No, it's actually how you do in your main test, not how you perform on your CLAs and all those stuff, right?
Yeah.
So my internals are always 45 above. Whenever there is a test happening, I'm always prepared for that. I don't take second chances. As I said, I pay attention but not that much. When there is an important test happening, I come full prepared. I don't, I don't want second practices and all these stuff. So like that, I create an impression on people that okay, she's gonna do it like that. So I think it's really is important that you should not focus on shortcuts. I got that in my first sem only. So you should have that mindset to get to placements or masters. I think even I see my peers right now, they are thinking of going to masters or placements. You should have a steady mindset from the start itself only.
Yeah, but that is actually, as you mentioned, we should have a steady mindset, either placement or the higher studies, right? So I see a lot of my friends still not and still in decision factor in second year. Is it too late or is it still fine to decide?
You have time till second year only. From second year, if you're not productive enough, you're not gonna do it. I saw many people starting from third year and they got the job, but see, if you have worked hard from many days, it will be good, right? Instead of working for 6 months and getting something so bad, you could have worked for some 365 days and you could get it good, right? If you do lead code for 1 month and if you again stop it, you will lose all the skill. Let me tell you that. This is tech. This is not some subject to learn. I got that much CGPA because I worked hard only for 1 month. If I would have only worked hard for 1 month, I would not have gotten the job, okay? So that's what it is. CGPA studies are one type and placement coding skills are one type. You need to fully be focused and fully be inspired to do that. It's just like an art which you do when you're inspired. You should just have a motivation to do everything.
Yeah, I agree that you mentioned it, you compared it to an art.
Yeah.
Right, the placements and on the other side the academics.
Yes.
But I want to know more in detail, how you cracked the internship at PayPal. What are the skills that exactly you developed? It's obviously not it's not one-stop process. You did this and you got this. It's definitely not. There has to be more elements to it.
So as I said, my first year was completely based on me studying and not that much focused on tech stack. But in second year, from starting only, I focused on tech stack. That is, I started doing web. But I got to know that was not my pick after 1 month. And then I started working on Android development, which is a very famous type of mobile app development. I think you know it, Android development, which has two languages, Java and Kotlin. So as I did Android development, I faced a very lot of challenges. That is, be it deployment issues or be it database issues or anything. I had a person to help me. He was my friend. He was from the same section. So like that, it helped me. He helped me from to some point. I don't know how I managed, but I got to know some intermediate level. I was an intermediate Android developer. You could say that I could code well. So after that, he helped me to the point where I became somewhat fluent. And after that, I got an internship in the Android development based on the projects I have done. So my projects included a weather application, which I used some APIs to build it, and then I, you know, Disha app, right?
Disha, yeah, that.
So I did a similar app based on the Disha app. It's like my inspo.
A clone?
Similar kind. But what I really thought was Disha app didn't have a navigating system. Like if you use Apple, you have something called Find My, where you can see all the members which you are connected to. So I wanted that to be in my Android app. So I added that feature, and like that, it's in my resume still now. Then on, I got that internship and I started working in that internship. So after that internship, I don't know where I was left out, because Android was becoming easy for me. It's not that interesting anymore. So I thought, why not, let's do another tech stack. And I lost interest in doing that Android also. So then again I started Flutter, which is a cross-platform development, and then it took me 1.5 years to gain some experience and explore it. And it was in 3.1 where I was working in a college startup called Bracktech. I think you guys have heard it. That was a very good startup. I think there my peers helped me a lot. They're the founders. I think his name is Gopichand. I was not that fluent when I started that internship in Flutter. So they were very open-minded. They let me learn stuff and they let me work out so much. So then I got to know how to work in a collaborative environment and how learning a tech stack is. While working in an internship, I have learned many skills, that is working with Google API, working with Google navigating system, all these. So I got to know how to work in that internship, and alongside I was working on a research paper. At one point, I got a mail saying that we are looking for people above 9 CGPA to work on a research paper. That is from Manikandan sir, I think. So like that, I started my research journey, and it went on like that.
So you mentioned that you, I can see how the CGPA didn't affect, or at the same time it did affect. I'm not able to get a clear idea about that. Like the last point you mentioned regarding research. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that CGPA really, it still does give like a overall image about you, right? It's like no offense though, but it's like a product's rating, right? If I say someone is 9 out of 10 CGPA, it's like a rating for them.
So it depends on what entirely you choose. I said that if you are going for masters, it's like very important to you. But if you are sitting for placements, what really is important to you is your data structures and your skill. So I was not ready for doing masters. I'm not even interested in masters. I was from the beginning itself. I was fixed on doing my placement. Sitting for the placements, and then I was fixed on doing a job only. So I got to know what's important to me. Whenever we have end-term exams, I would not learn. I will just do my development, and before the exam only, I will read. I'm not that innocent. So it's just like I said, I like to write a research paper. People, if you would like to write a research paper in SRMAP with a topmost faculty, with them as your mentor, you need a very good CGPA. With a CGPA like 7 or 8, nobody will be willing to say that you are a very good student. I will be ready to write a research paper and I will be ready to guide you. So I my aim at one point was to do some research on some topic, be it anything, but I want to know how the research works also. It's just like a curiosity. So when I asked my seniors, they said CGPA is important when you're going for masters, when you're applying for scholarships. It's true. When you're applying for scholarships and all, they GPA matters. I think it's a very normal metric for colleges to evaluate on that. So then on, as I said, I was interested in research, and I applied for some forms. Some forms were circulated and I applied in them. And then I was asked my CGPA. I said 9 point something. They were impressed and they believed me based on my CGPA there to do the research. Yes, that's what it is.
That's what I can see. So after your internship, right? Let's keep the CGPA point away for now. So after your internship, I believe it was now your time to prepare for placements, right? Yeah. So placement season, I heard a lot of people saying that placement season is contradicting or conflicting with your end term exams. So this is where, as you said, the art is conflicting with each other. So the academia and the placement.
I don't believe so. I think I mentioned it. I mentioned the timeline, right? I got my final interview call at December mid something. My first interview was December 4th, where we got our end term exams then. I did my whole interview during my end terms. And I got, you want to know my last sem CGPA? It was 9.6. 9.652 something. Okay. It's SGPA, sorry. Now my CGPA is around 9.4. Yeah. I don't believe that. If you are meant to do something, you will do it either way. Be it the pressure, be it anything. I'm not just bluffing here because you can check my portal or anything.
Yeah, what I am surprised is I don't find it like, relatable. Like your CGPA clearly reflects your achievements, right? Yes. But what about a person who is scoring somewhat like a 7.9 or 8 CGPA, but still, does that really reflect that person? Because in your case, I can honestly say your CGPA clearly reflects your, like what do you say, your skills or professions, like.
See, what I do is, I want to have a backup option for me. If not placements, I should go for masters, right? I should have it both ways. I should focus on my tech stack, and we have a very good competition with my batch because we are around 2000 members who the whole CSC, AE, something all. And if you would like to stand out, you need to have it all. You should not take chances. So that's what my first motto is. Many will demotivate you saying your CGPA is not important and all. Even myself, I say CGPA is not important. But at the end of the day, if you want to have a plan B, if you want to go to masters, if you don't get a placement, you need your CGPA. You need your research papers, you need your LOR and everything. So I thought at the start, I don't know that I will get PayPal, right? Nobody will predict it. So I started sitting for interviews and all, but I don't know whether I will get it or not. I have been rejected multiple times. So I had this thing called, I have this thing still now. I want to have plan B at every moment. So if not this, this will be my option then. So like that, I maintain my CGPA, and I don't think this will be the case for most of the students here. They have that confidence that they will do it in the one option itself. So that's what the case goes for the people you have said they have 7.9 with an extraordinary skill. Even the person who I mentioned who guided me in my Android development, he's a person who is very talented. He won a national level hackathon. I think one of the peer along me, she's called Supravala, she's in NTL I think. She got placed as a SC there, a software engineer intern there. He had gone to the hackathon along with her. I don't know whether they were the same team or not. They have won the hackathon. They have got around 1.5 something I think. It was a team hackathon. So his CGPA is not that commendable, but he is a very talented guy. So like that, it's like both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Your answer pretty satisfied me, and I hope it satisfied the students as well. So to conclude, CGPA does matter. So it does matter, and it doesn't matter as well. So I get it. So it's a really complicated subject, but at the end we can realize that you need CGPA to reflect yourself, or it's like a backup plan, according to you, as you said, right? It's a backup plan. So with that, we are concluding today's episode of SRMAP's podcast, and I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed recording this. So if you really enjoyed this, I would really want you to share this with your fellow mates who will find this really, really helpful. And with that, I will see you next week in the next episode. Signing off as your host, Campus Explorer.